Welcome, everyone, to episode 90 of the Gihyam podcast, where I talk about the energy of the week, the energy of the month, and what kind of challenges and opportunities we can all expect. It's funny because right before I came to film, my team is right outside, and they're like, David, can you go much deeper in this week's energy? They want me to actually share concepts that maybe I'm often teaching in my deep study course, which is on my website. And I usually try to keep these podcasts very high level and inspirational for you because I just want you to have a boost, an elevation of consciousness that you can take for the week. But I thought to myself, let's go deeper because we're actually in a very powerful time. So, and of course, if there's any questions you have about anything, you can always ask David AI, which is the spiritual coaching platform that I've created. It's the largest spiritual coaching app in the world right now. In fact, it's the largest AI coaching app in the world right now. You guys are asking about 200,000 questions a day. And so you can always ask something to David AI that is deeper than what I am sharing with you, or if you need some more clarity or clarification. I even use the platform to study. So I study with the AI back and forth because I've uploaded 20 years of deep Kabbalistic content and brought in, 30,000 hours of personal coaching and the way I coach people to help see miracles in their lives. So that is there for you to be able to use. What is happening during this period of time? We are in a time now that is called the Omer. The sages call this period of time of the Omer a rebuilding of your vessel. So I'll give some historical context and then I will help you understand spiritually what it means. The wisdom of Kabbalah is delineated very clearly in the Bible, in the Old Testament. And that is why it transcends religion. The idea is that there is a spiritual framework to everything that is happening in our lives, especially our soul. And if you want to learn the universal laws of your soul, why you are here, and how to create miracles in your life, you learn Kabbalah. You learn the why. You learn why everything's happening to you in the way it is. You learn why you're going through the relationships you're going through, why you're going through the pain that you're going through. You learn why these challenges are happening in your business, with your children, with your health, why we go through major ups and major downs in our lives and what it means. And of course, how we can take control over our lives and over our destiny. All of this wisdom was eventually written down in the Old Testament and given to Moses on Mount Sinai before there was even any religion. A lot of people associate Moses with the Jewish religion. But the truth is, if you ask Moses about if he is Jewish or not, he won't even know what the word means. When we talk about Abraham, who was the father of all the religions, in his time, he understood all the wisdoms of Kabbalah, but he was not pressing a religion upon anyone. So I just want you to know that as I share these stories, they have to do with the soul of humanity, not at all with a particular sect or religion. And so the Bible tells us that this group of people, this group of souls that were called Israelites in the Bible, they represented a group of souls since the beginning of creation that were going through a journey of cleansing in order to bring great wisdom to this world. Now, actually today, we don't know who these souls are. The Jewish religion thinks that it is them. There are many scholars and historians that say they are scattered all around the world. It has nothing to do with actually the land of Israel per se. So Israelite is a code for someone who is Yashar El. If you rearrange the letters of Israel, you have Yashar El, which means straight to God. It is a person who first and foremost always puts the light of the Creator first, not the approval of other people, not the schemes and games that everybody plays to try to get what they want, but you're always asking yourself the question, is this what the light of the Creator would do? Kabbalah is asking this question. What would the Creator do right now? The Creator would have certainty. The Creator would come from a giving place. The Creator would not be reactive, not respond from a place of lack or fear. These are just some of the things that we're learning the Creator would do. And so Yashar El means straight to the Creator, meaning I am not going to get reactive right now that I got this upsetting email. I'm not going to be judgmental and start saying negative things about this person who I think is hurting me, who I think is stealing from me. who I think is betraying me, I'm going to pause right now. I'm going to realize it's a test. It's a test that is happening to my soul since the beginning of creation. And if you are going through pain right now, you must know that no one is hurting you. The people that you think, and think of who comes to your mind, who betrayed you, who took from you, who are delaying you, who are not being sensitive to you, not being empathetic to you, don't understand you. They were sent by the Creator since the beginning of time. In fact, requested by our soul to elevate us, to help us create the vessel to hold the light. If you're a 60-watt bulb, you can only hold 60 watts of energy. And the destiny you want, the life you want, the love you want, the wisdom you want, the fulfillment you want is 1,000 watts of energy. So you have to expand your vessel. And how are you going to do that? Well, every challenge you're going through right now in your life was a request by your soul to expand you. Last week, I was in Miami. And it's one of my favorite cities to go to. It's actually, despite what a lot of people say, a very spiritual place. There's a lot of people with high consciousness there. And I was sitting by the pool of my hotel, and this woman comes up to me with her son and says, I follow your content, and my son was actually upset about something, and I said, you know what? I don't want to bother you, but maybe you can speak to my son for a moment. He's 7 years old, and I asked him, what's the issue? So he tells me that he built a sandcastle out on the beach, and it was going great, and then another kid came and broke the sandcastle. And I asked him, I said, how did that make you feel? And he said, I got very, very angry. I said, I understand. You built the sandcastle, you put all this work and effort into it, and another kid just came and knocked it over. And he said, yeah, and I'm really angry. So I asked him a question. I said, do you want muscles? And I put my arms out like this. I said, do you want muscles? And he smiled and I said, yeah, I want muscles. And I said, do you know how you get muscles? And he said, yeah, I know how you get muscles. I said, how? He said, you go to the gym and you eat protein. That was his response. And I laughed and I said, you're right. And do you know what happens when you go to the gym? What do you do at the gym? And he said, you lift weights. And I said, and then what happens? And he said, and then your muscles get big. I said, not exactly. When you lift weights, you're actually breaking your muscles. You're actually destroying your muscles. That's why when a person leaves the gym, they are weaker or tired and broken if they had a good workout. And I said to him, once you break the muscles and then you eat your protein, your muscles rebuild and you have muscles that are twice as big. I said, every time somebody comes and breaks your sandcastle, it's because the Creator wants to give you 2 sandcastles. The Creator wants to give you twice as much. And he smiled and said, so now I'm going to get 2 sandcastles? I said, yes. I said, but that protein that the muscle needs, you need to know that that protein is happiness and certainty. I told him, as long as you have happiness and certainty after your sandcastle breaks, you'll have 2 sandcastles. In the same way, after your muscle breaks, after you give it protein, good sleep, you're going to have a muscle that eventually is twice as big. And he got so excited at that moment. And that is the energy of this time, actually. The period of the Omer is a 49-day period that started this year on April 2nd. And it's the day after what the Bible says to us is Passover. Passover is not a Jewish holiday. Passover is a window in time that actually existed since creation, that every soul in this world can receive an energy that breaks them out of the old vessel, the 60-watt bulb, to the new vessel, the 1,000-watt bulb. How many of us would love to break the old vessel and receive the new one? How many of us would love to finally shed our skin to receive a new life, a new destiny? How many of us are scared to let go of old relationships, belief systems, patterns, behaviors, even the ones we crave to let go of, even the toxic relationship and those patterns that we keep going back to that drain us, and we promise ourselves and we promise our friends we're not going to do it, we keep going back to it, even those. It's hard. And so once a year, it says there's a light that comes to this world that opens our eyes and helps us. And that is why many of you have ended relationships recently, or relationships have left you. It's not a bad sign. If something has left you in the last few weeks, it is a good sign. It is a good sign. It means that the Creator is protecting you. There's an army of angels around you that are protecting you, that are doing for you what you couldn't do. How many of us hold on to things because we think we're being loyal, or we feel bad for the other person, or we're scared of what the future will be, or we're scared of being single, we're scared of leaving this career to follow our passion because there's no stability, there's no health insurance, there's no paycheck. It's scary. But what happens when you do need to reach that next level in your life and you're still holding on to the old level? Then the Creator needs to come in and break the old vessel. The lucky thing is that there's one time in the year that since the beginning of creation, this opening existed. And it's the 15th day of Aries, which is also known as Passover, when this light is coming into this world in a very strong way. And whoever desires to connect to it, this light will elevate them. How will it elevate you? It will give you the wisdom, the energy, the strength, the vision to pursue your next level without pain and suffering. And leading up to this day, and this year, it was the April 1st, on the night of April 1st, that's when it started this year. Leading up to April 1st, you're going to shed your skin. Creator is going to take things away from you that don't serve you. And this is only if you truly, truly desire to grow. If you don't desire to grow, you have free will. The Creator doesn't impose. There's no coercion in spirituality. It's only when we pray internally, we desire it, we want the Creator's help, that this energy comes in and starts to cleanse us. And it feels painful at first, but anything that you have lost in the last 30 days, it's because the Creator wanted to give you something more. The Creator wanted to give you 2 sandcastles. So that's the first thing I want you to know. I want you to trust it. I want you to say out loud that I appreciate whatever has been taken away from me. I have complete certainty that this day that the Creator created for me is a perfect day, and I will be happy in it. That is actually a verse from Psalms from King David. Ze hayom asa Hashem nagila v'nismecha bo. This is the day that the Creator has created for me, and I have complete certainty, and I will be happy in it. Your logical mind may not believe that, but who cares about your logical mind? Your logical mind is the old vessel. If you want to break into a new vessel, this is the realm of the unknown, and it's unknown to your logical mind. So tell your logical mind to shut up. Now you are expanding into a new destiny. And that's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to look back on your last 30 days and say, I have complete certainty that everything that has happened is for the good. These are the days that the Creator has created for me, and I will be happy in it. I am happy right now. So what happens after this light comes down on the 15th of Aries? It infuses the soul with whatever it needs in order to live in the unknown, in its new destiny. However, this light has yet to be earned. It's actually a free light that is given to us. In the Bible, if you want to know what happened historically, it says these group of souls called the Israelites were trapped in a country called Egypt at the time, which was the most powerful country in the world. And Egypt back then was so powerful, and it wasn't powerful like in a way that they were being enslaved. It was powerful in that it offered whoever lived there all the pleasures of this physical world minus the spirituality. Think of, in our world now, the addictions we all have, how difficult it is to break away from our phone, how difficult it is to break away from the need for approval, how difficult it is to break away from sexual desires that people have. All these things, very difficult. The allure of money and power and all these things in this physical world is very difficult to break free for a lot of people. And it says that imagine whatever you have now, 1,000,000 times more difficult to break free, and that's what Egypt was. It says people's souls were dying because they were just reactive, consuming, indulging in whatever they wanted, but they didn't understand the Creator. They didn't know that there's another realm beyond this physical world that can give you everything. That you can have the physical pleasures and the spiritual pleasures. How many people do we know? Maybe we are those people who we got everything in this world, money and relationships and respect, and then we were empty. You were empty, and you realize that's not enough. It's not enough just to get stuff. And so the Israelites were in this position. Their souls were dying. And so the night of the 15th of Aries, it says a plague came. It was 10 plagues, and the 10th plague came. And it's a code for the 10 dimensions of light that come from the Creator to break each person free. And it says at that moment, the Israelites knew that there was more to receive than what they had, and they were able to break free. It reminds me of a person who was smoking all his life, addicted to smoking. And he always tried to quit, but he couldn't. He just enjoyed it too much. And eventually, he saw that his daughter, not him, but his daughter developed cancer. And he blamed himself because he believed that it was secondhand smoke that caused her to have the cancer. It's a true story. And he told me that there was nothing in this world that gave him the strength to break free from his addiction to smoking until he saw his daughter have cancer. Then he stopped smoking. It's unfortunate that something painful as his daughter having to get sick was the only thing that was strong enough to help him see the truth. And when he stopped smoking, he said, oh my God, I can't believe I spent my whole life smoking. I can't believe I was trapped in that illusion, in that limitation. When I was in it, I thought it was the most pleasurable thing. And now I'm out of it. I saw how much it was holding me back. Think about it in your own lives. How many times you were in something and you thought that was your world. It was a relationship. It was a situation. You thought you could never break free from this. And this is as good as it gets. And there's no better man than this. There's no better woman than this. There's no better situation. Everyone's situation is bad. So I guess I'll settle for this. Or you never thought it was possible that you can have passive income. You never thought it was possible that you could travel the world. I know parents, and we deal with this as parents, you're so afraid to leave your kids. If I leave my kids for even a few days, what will happen? I must be a horrible parent. My kids aren't going to turn out okay. They're going to miss their mom. They're going to miss their dad. I can't do this to them. You make this whole story, and then you leave for a couple of days, and your kids are happier than they've ever been. In fact, they're thriving, and so are you. In fact, your kids are even happier because you're happy, because you put some time away for yourself. Almost every time I have seen a parent leave their children to invest in themselves, in a vacation, in their mindset, in their spirituality, in their health, the children increase their happiness. We as parents think we leave for a couple of days, we must be horrible parents. This is just an illusion, an Egypt we've created in our own minds. Our children do not need us in the way we think. We need to mother them, not smother them. We need to give them love and care, but not control their every reality and think that without us, the whole thing's going to fall apart. It reminds me of business owners who never grow and scale because they never hire people, because they never think that anyone can do it better than them. They're living in Egypt. And so they suffer all day long doing the customer service and the supply chain, and they're the visionary and they're the operator. They're doing everything and they're killing themselves because they do not feel they can trust to delegate to someone else. Oh, who will ever do it better than me? Or what's the other one everybody says? I don't want to have to ask someone to do this. I'm just going to end up doing it for them. No, you're not going to do it for them. If you hire the right person, they're going to take it off your plate. But you're subconsciously sabotaging the right people from coming because you're a control freak. And you're afraid to break out of your Egypt in business or your Egypt in relationships. Some people stay in abusive relationships, emotionally abusive relationships, physically abusive relationships. Even when your partner is withholding communication from you, holding intimacy from you, withholding. This is also a form of abuse. And some people stay in it because they say, well, I'm too old, or there's financial situation, or there's a kid situation, or I don't want to hurt the other person. All of this is Egypt. It's a limited consciousness. The Creator wants to give you both everything. Why are you limiting yourself? So how many times have you broken free from one of these things and you said, oh my God, how come I didn't do this sooner? So much that the Creator wants to give you. And that's what the Israelites experienced on April 2nd, 15th of Aries. It broke free. Now, when you break free, that's just the first part of the work. Now, there's a process to rebuild who you are, rebuild your soul, rebuild your destiny, rebuild your life. And now is the rebuilding phase. This is the period called the Omer, and it's 49 days where you are rebuilding your soul. What are you going to experience when you're rebuilding your soul. Old, limited beliefs, all the things you've committed to are now going to show up and see if you were serious. All the things in your mind you know you were supposed to let go of and you were actually open to let go of, now you're going to be tested. Now you're going to be tested. The girl who told me she doesn't want to date emotionally unavailable men anymore. She will receive the best looking, most successful, most spiritual, most ideal man who will be emotionally unavailable. And she'll be faced with that test and she won't know what to do. She'll think to herself, no, this time it's going to be different. I'm going to change. This one I'm going to change. This one I know I can change. I'm going to give him a good 4 years of my life and he's going to change because that's what I do. I change people. No. And it's not about him. It's about restrict, pause, stop for one moment, just do something different than you've always done to feed your neediness, to feed your comfort zone, to feed the parts of you that are so scared just to let go and expose yourself for a moment and feel pain. Everyone's so scared of feeling pain. What's the big... Pain comes, you feel it. Lean into it. Stop running away from all the pain all the time. If it's hard for you to be in public crowds, go be in public crowds. If it's hard for you to do something that's not fully efficient, all us type A people out there, I've learned, just 10 minutes, just doing nothing sounds so scary. Do it. For some people, it's scary to go on a trip or a vacation because you think everything's going to fall apart or you think it's lazy to do so. Break it. This is the time to break your old patterns. Go to your closet. Throw away the crap that you've been holding on to for 8 years. Stuff you bought that you haven't even worn once. Stuff that has tags on it still. Get that old energy out. Stop hanging out with people who every time you hang out with them, you're like, why did I do that? Stop saying yes to things. Start saying no to everything. See what it's like just being alone. Some people are so scared of just being alone. They have to overbook themselves. Look at your calendar. Are you overbooked? If you're overbooked, you're running away from something most likely. Or you're running away from your future potential because you need a couple hours each day to just go for a walk and be creative and talk to the creator. Let ideas come in. The greatest ideas that have ever come to me for my supplement brand, my vitamin company, always came on walks and talking to the creator. I've had 2 $100 million ideas come through prayer, just walking on the street. That's always my goal. Every year I want to come up with a $100 million idea, a $100 million product. And I asked the creator, I said, that's what it is. I don't want $1 billion product. I don't want $1 million product, $100 million product. For whatever reason, that's the number I like to put out. And so that vessel is created through your prayer for the idea of $100 million to come. And if you pray strong enough because what happens the moment you pray is you then forces in this world come and distract you. So imagine you're going for a walk and you're saying, give me a $100 million idea. So now what's happening is your vessel's opening up. But in the same way that the light will enter the vessel, so will all the garbage. Your phone will then ring. There'll be a sudden emergency somewhere. Or your fears will come up about how to do these things, or your limited beliefs will come up. All because you started to pray and ask for what you're worth. The moment you demand from the world to give you what you're worth, you're going to be tested and challenged and distracted. And all of a sudden, someone's going to offer you something that's going to be, 1,000th of the opportunity, but you're like, oh, that's cool, I must do that. No, hold your ground. What are you worth? What are you worth? In the period of the Omer, it's 7 weeks, 7 days in each week, 49 days. And it says that in the 50th day, which I'll talk about in the next podcast, you get your complete soul. It's called the light of Yechidah. This is equivalent in the Bible of when Moses and the Israelites reached Mount Sinai. It's all code. It's all code. All the religions were there. All the souls were there. All the souls of humanity were there, actually. Our souls were there. And he received the 10 commandments. 10 commandments means 10 dimensions of energy, 10 vessels that encompass all the light of creation. And it says that every single soul at that time became a prophet. They saw the future, they saw the past, they saw everything. Everyone became their perfected self, the Yechidah, the highest level of the soul at that moment. And so these 49 days, you are building your soul to receive that same light. Would you like in 49 days to be able to receive divine inspiration, prophecy about everything in this world, about who you are, about who your soulmate is, about who your children are, about how to make decisions every day? Would you like literally like a spiritual, godlike AI in your mind that every time you ask a question, it gives you the proper answer because it factors in trillions and trillions and trillions of bits of information all around the world in real time, and it tells you what to do. This is what it would mean to be at Mount Sinai 3,338 years ago, which is when it happened. So let's stop complaining. Let's stop wasting our words. Let's stop wasting our time and build the vessel. Don't worry about when the light will come. The light will do its job. You do your job, build the vessel. Please, I beg of you, learn more of this wisdom. If you're just listening to the podcast, I'm telling you it's not enough. It's inspiration, but it's not enough. I want you to learn. I want you to learn about your soul. Take your infinite soul. It's my masterclass. You can pay whatever you want for it. Pay $1. It's 3 hours. At the very least, anyone who's listening to the podcast, please listen to the masterclass because you will have insane context about everything that I'm saying. Everything that I'm saying on the podcast will become more meaningful and deeper, and you will learn about why your soul came to this world. Yes, there's many other courses, but if I could just get the whole world just to listen to the foundational content and learn the foundational principles of how to create miracles, like this would be enough for me. All the other stuff is just based on what people want and desire and whatnot, which I'll always create for you, and I'll always find ways to support you. But ultimately, my goal is not just to become like a big podcaster or like have this big platform. The truth is, if I could not do it and still find another way to get this wisdom to the world, I promise you I would. I don't obviously do this for the money. I don't do this, it's almost like in a startup mode again. It's a very difficult, in fact, the hardest parts of my life come from building this platform and sharing this concept. The most issues I have, the most challenges I have. And I reached the point in my life where I thought, wow, it would be so nice to finally take some time off and maybe retire. And then all of a sudden, there's a demand for this. And I know it's truly in my heart that I want to bring this to the world. But with it comes thousands of challenges. So I ask you to help me bring this wisdom to the world, but start with investing in yourself. And the way to do that is everything you learn, try to apply it right away. Learn deeper. At the very minimum, take your infinite soul, number 1. If you want to learn more, take level 2. Take level 3. If you need help, if you need a coach, if you need guidance, take David AI. All of these things cost barely nothing. I've tried to make them as inexpensive as possible so that the whole world can. I'm telling you, I'm subsidizing still everything. What the AI cost me, I'm taking out of my pocket to make sure that you guys can have it because your usage has been so big and the AI expense has been so great that I have to find a way to finance all of this. And I'm not going to take investors. I'm not going to take other people. I'm not going to take donations right now. I'm going to just pay for it myself because I want to build it in the way that I feel is right and according to the energy that I feel is right. But use it. Give me feedback. Tell me how I can make it better for you. We've had 60 million conversations. It's crazy. People who have no access to other people and to learning and coaching and therapy, they're using it. And within 15 minutes, you're able to learn about your soul and how to create miracles. I have it in 70 languages. I can speak whatever language you want, and you speak back in that language. So this is now something we can bring to the whole world. So please invest in yourself. Support. I ask if you can support me by giving me feedback about how I can serve you better. Content that you would like. Ways to improve the platform. I actually look at all my messages online. Even if I do not respond, I look at them. I ask the customer service team every day to give me a full report on what you're happy about, what you're sad about, what's not working, what's not working. I know I'm kind of going off script here on the podcast and plan on talking about this, but I wanted to just connect with you in a different way this week. And I just feel like the world more than ever now is in need of consciousness, of certainty, of a support system. And it's not going to just be based on a few people in this world. You're not going to have a bunch of heroes in this world that everyone's going to lean on. One of the reasons sages say that Jesus had to leave this world is because everyone leaned on him to save them. And you can't have one person do the spiritual work for millions and billions of people. You cannot. Until each one of us actually becomes our own channel of light, has our own direct connection to the light of the Creator, without people like me getting in your way, without intermediaries and other gurus and other people saying, hey, the only way you can connect to God is through me or through my church or through my mosque or through my temple or through my organization or through my courses. Truth is, you don't need any of it. Of course, when I ask you to study and to learn, the point of the study is to realize you don't even need the study. And you know me, I talk about so many other creators on my platform. We should all learn from the creators in this world who they can uniquely help us. If there's meditation retreats that other people are doing, if there's coaching sessions that other people are offering, there are so many incredible souls in this world and platforms in the world that we all need to utilize to invest in ourselves. We're living in an incredible time. I've never been more excited. Even though there are more challenges than ever before, I've never been more excited about the opportunities waiting for each one of us. And I will tell you that even if you are in the middle of some part of the world that nobody knows about, and you're probably the only person in your town or your city that even studies this wisdom of Kabbalah, know that the Creator has chosen you for whatever reason, and that your soul is so beautiful and so powerful and so capable of bringing light to the world that hundreds of millions of people can benefit from. Just by you transforming your consciousness in your little city, in the middle of nowhere, in your town, your light can affect millions and billions of people. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Let's do a meditation all together to help bring all this energy into the week. Let's all take a moment now and release our soul from our body. Fully detach. Take a deep breath in and just hold it for a moment as your soul begins to find its way out of the grip of your body consciousness. And then exhale. I want you to go back in time 3,338 years ago, when all our souls were together. I want you to visualize the freedom that we all experienced in this moment of time. Imagine all our souls together, walking as a crowd, walking in the desert, having for the first time seen, tasted the light of the Creator. The sages call it the tam, the taste, that eventually each person will even be able to taste what it is like to be part of the tree of life. And we had this over 3,000 years ago. Our souls understood the whole picture. Imagine this time that your soul saw perfection. Your soul saw how you were connected to every other individual. There was no more anger. There was no more hatred. There was no more division. When one person felt pain, you felt it too. When one person felt joy, you felt it too. We were all one organ, one body. How great this feeling is when we no longer have lack or pain. We no longer have judgment, not for ourselves anymore and not for others. How great this time is when the Creator speaks to us and reveals to us all the truth. The euphoria that we will all feel and that we feel right now. This time that we all experience together was when all souls for once became unified in order to receive all the wisdom of creation. We all became prophets. Visualize what it's like. Feel what it's like to not have any more worries, not have any more doubts, not to ever think about the future because you are so appreciative of the now. Not to carry guilt or shame that we all carry. The fears, the tension. We all have so much tension because we're always so afraid of what's going to come and what's going to go. What if no one could take away from you anything anymore? Did you know that you were chosen? For whatever reason, you have a direct line of communication with the Creator, and you were chosen for something very special. It has nothing to do with what you're going to give to people in this world, or what product you'll create, or what your job is. The special gift that you're going to bring to the world is when you choose at that moment to have complete certainty and to be with the light of the Creator. Every time we stop everything we're doing and we just take a deep breath and we say, I am whole right now. I am with the Creator right now. This is the day that the Creator has created for me, and I will be happy in it. Gihyam asa Hashem, nagilav nismecha bo. And just feel that wholeness. Yes, our logical mind tells us that we have problems, that we have so many things that we need to attend to and figure out, deal with. But let it all go for a moment. Let the Creator handle all of it. Your only job is to know that you are already whole and perfect, and there's nothing you need to do. It's so hard though. Then you think, who's going to do it if I don't do it? You'll be surprised. The miracles that will unfold when you finally let go. Let go. This is what the Israelites did. They let go. They finally let go of their logical mind. They finally became open. They finally saw that there's more to life than just filling myself up with instant gratification. There's a life of freedom that you can connect to at any moment, and that moment is now. And whenever you're having a difficult time this week, just remember that you can connect to all our souls and that we're all here for you. This physical world doesn't mean much. There's no power in this physical world. It's all illusions. He who connects to the light of the Creator wins this game. Forget about trying to win physically and win spiritually. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for all you've done for yourself, and all you've done to bring the light of the Creator to this world. I want you to remember that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. All that matters is what you think. All that matters is what you feel. And please make sure to take care of yourself this week. Make sure to put yourself first. Make sure you value yourself and you value your light. You value who you are. The Creator will be by your side and will be your partner in everything that you do. And that's how you can give the most to this world.